The movie is already starting off with someone having 5 stars. This is why building connections is important. If they knew Lester, then the officer would not be getting ready to push through their base like the Kool-Aid Man. It looks like every officer heard the call and was eager to participate. We're about to have a shootout. You had them at shoot, apparently. The cameraman pans inside the building, and we have the man from Prison Break taking the lead of whatever was going on.
You know what to do.
What, die? My guy ran into the books like they were Mario power-ups. The officers were on a mission, locked in, and each and everybody they caught up their rank of their performance. But some of these officers have to be shooting for no reason, like this nigga. Where is he aiming? But not too long after, we get our main character using the sound of people screaming as they got tattooed with 762s as his intro music. Stone Cold Steve Austin got glass breaking, and he has murder and mayhem. And I don't know if they was going for a cool appearance, but this shit just creeped me out. What was he looking for so vehemently? You're welcome. Another word of the day for you. Got me feeling like Miss Rachel. After the cops got done wiping the stains off the map, they were waiting for Kristen Bale before he met Liam, I wish a nigga would Neeson, to give them the order to breach this door. But this nigga just keeps staring for some reason. Why is he so intense? Even this man was wondering what he was looking at. Got him extra nervous. Then he started flexing. I guess he had to get emotionally prepared to assault this defenseless door. That's kind of ironic though, because they don't have emotions. I just learned that right now. But the NPCs that were in the room cut to my office. There is no way this man is standing there like he reached the end of the catwalk, showcasing his all-black fit, and y'all missed every shot like a non-vaxxer. They are like the refs during the Warriors game, blind, missing every foul as Curry's getting beat on like he's facing inmate 4427. Then it went completely dark for a little minute. I was starting to get worried they forgot they were making a movie. Nah, he just needed to get flick ready. As soon as he put the switch on his guns and got the posing, he was really gunning down mad people while doing the mannequin challenge, changing poses, and they were taking it like the little tray of pennies on the store counters. But nah, where's that nigga from Prison Break? Who did we piss off? And why didn't we pay the electric bill? Why we sitting in the dark like it was a friendly game of hide and go seek? And the cameraman was making it no better, laying on the floor making sure he was capturing John's epic poses. So after some more standing and staring, they got what they came for, the Mona Lisa, only for the goddamn CDA to spin the corner with a flamethrower and burn it like it was a 2319. Low key, Mona Lisa is twinning with Benjamin Franklin. You can't see it? Smack 100 on that bitch, and she is like the man with the kite. I am not calling her the B word. I am saying bitch as in the object, the painting. We move a little further into the movie, and we have Alfred from Gotham giving his cult speech. Human emotion, bad. Robotic, good. Dude, we're treating emotions like herpes. Midday stop for a no emotion fix is crazy. And I wonder what the side effects are. You know how pharmaceuticals are. Double-edged swords. Shit be like, stop your allergies, but you might die. No emotion has to equal leaky booty. It just makes sense. But come to find out, it's bad aim. That's what the side effect is. Bad fucking aim. Got their elite soldiers out there like Stevie Wonder. This man was talking about how war is gone, hate is gone, while inside of Superman's phone booth. Nigga was like, hate might be gone, but I know them 762s still exist. He was not trying to become JFK. Also, he was surrounded by people who was dressed how Kanye thought he looked, and they were standing there like a boy band, but instead of guitars, they had ARs. All the while, they were yoking up this old nigga. What, he looked a little too happy while he was walking? WWH? But if you ask me, he was getting a little emotional in that speech. You might have to check that nigga low key. I think he still might have the emotions for real. We move on in the movie. Not gonna lie, I'm scratching my head a little bit. John was having a meeting with this man, and they were talking about empathy like it was a Loch Ness monster, a folktale. And they are calling people with emotions sense offenders. Whoa, I do not spread my happiness without consent. I say, do you want to laugh? If it's a no, I'm walking away. I ain't flashing niggas with my jokes. I am not running down the street in a trench coat, and when I pull it open, I'm wearing a shirt that says knock knock. Now we are diving deeper in his character. He has 2 children, and his wife was burned like a witch in the 1600s because she had a case of the emotions. They dead ass walking around with their flamethrowers like, did I catch you feeling? Before the scene ends, John get pressed because he wasn't the one who burned his wife. This world doesn't really seem like a solution for real. And wouldn't everyone just be psychopaths if they were lacking empathy? So remember when I mentioned this man just staring? Well, I think he might be one of those sense offenders. And John was starting to figure it out. From this moment in the car,
Every time we come from the nethers to the city, reminds me why we do what we do.
Does?
to not log in the book that he took from the scene into evidence. So John put up on him, catching him reading a book like it was a Playboy, OnlyFans Weekly. But this kid did not care. He was gonna finish that book regardless. And it was a good thing he was at the end, because John damn near ruined the book by putting a hole in it and his head. So the same night he tucked his partner into the afterlife, he got a new partner, Brandt. That is wild, but efficient. not gonna lie, might need a new son. The first thing he says as you walk in the door from a long day at work is him planning on snitching on somebody. Crazy.
I saw Bobby Taylor crying today.
A nigga can't shed a few tears? Is there a cry quota? Did I max out the cry limit? So the same night he off his partner, he had a dream about his wife getting arrested. But the only thing I want to talk about is his son. This little nigga belongs in The Exorcist. There is no way you are producing this and trying to convince me that no emotions is a good thing. Listen to how he talks.
What are you doing? I said, what are you doing?
Who the f are you talking to? Goddamn snitch. No emotions, but you're still writing the leader's father's words. Like damn, nigga is not LeBron. Low key, this little bastard remind me of the leader of the Delightful Children from down the lane. Just as creepy. John was out on his first mission with his new partner, and I'm gonna be honest, 2 raids in a matter of 2 days, I don't see the vision with the no emotion thing. I'm just not buying it. John went into the raid feeling jiggy, damn near dancing this girl into the mirror, only to be thrown off by his own reflection. He started hearing those MJ lyrics, feeling their influence. He would start with the man in the mirror, beginning today. But those doses are weak as hell, or something, for him to be getting this lucid, this quick. Man missed 1 fix, or 2. But the funniest thing in this movie is the fact that they claim no emotion equals no problems, but they created an entire martial arts dedicated to efficient murder. They stopped war by waging war with emotions. Father must have read The Giver and was like,
yes, sir! This nigga spitting.
At this point of the movie, I'm assuming he stopped cold turkey because he was waking up with the sweats like he was Ray Charles. Don't let your son see this. It was like Randall with his notepad. It was raps if he peeped this spectacle. He finally decided to stop being a sheep, becoming more than a cleric, a man with emotions. But day 3 with a 3rd raid, they keep saying there's no wars while actively fighting a civil war. But by watching these rebels performances, I'm starting to understand why they keep saying no war. They were not a threat. One dude ran out like the gunfire was like the school bell at the end of the day, and he got dismissed from life. These two was facing one way, just looking in that direction, like there wasn't a big ass opening behind them. Just imagine these were your teammates. It damn near feel like you are on a 1-seat plane flying solo. Nigga, just give me the emotional Ozempic. I can't keep teaming with these people anymore. I want the embarrassment to go away. John wasn't even hiding the fact that he was no longer riding a white horse. Everything this man was doing screamed sus. Why are you identifying a wall? Man had to take his gloves off for it. That wasn't it. He found a room brimming with emotional artifacts, and he started touching everything as well, just lightly rubbing it, until he turned on some Beethoven and started crying. He must love classical music. Then they had to push the envelope off some dogs. The screenplay writer must have been beefing with Peter. As they was writing the script, they were like, watch this nigga, wanna play with me? The entire time Brent was in the back like this when John picked up one of the escaping dogs and didn't want to put it down. At this point, the mind control on John is completely lifted, and it was a matter of time until he gets caught. And not much time passed before he was caught. He was trying to release the puppy he saved from earlier when the squad pulled up on him deep, trying to press him. Like damn, for no emotions, you sure came pressed as hell already. Goddamn drawers bunched up in a ball. You can tell this nigga got a wedgie. That's why he's so pressed. And he's wearing that heavy ass armor, so he's taking his discomfort out on John. But I must say, John was using the art of sweet talk perfectly. It was almost scot-free until the damn dog started barking. I don't want to save you no more for real. And they were about to murk him for simply having a dog in his trunk. Like damn, let me explain. Nope, they upped the tools on him. Too bad for them, he was Mr. Handy Manny himself and took both of their guns like they weren't using them. And I know I don't see fear on these officers' faces, and I know I don't hear panic in their voice. I think someone missed their daily fix. Never mind, it doesn't matter. He turned both of their brains into alphabet soup. They have to be ashamed of themselves for this performance. They need their emotions back. They have to feel shame. I mean, if they didn't feel their souls detached from their bodies, of course. Then you got niggas got out their truck on hots, and I never saw something cool down as fast as these officers. They stood on the ground and got stage fright. They watched this man run like they were spectators at the Olympics, backflip off a bike, then filled them with lead like houses in the 40s. But that wasn't all. He got in the middle of them just money dancing. Each flick of the wrist was like him writing his name in cursive on their bodies using bullets. Then got the posing on them. Even the thing behind him was trying to help set up the moment for him. So after acting like he switched professions from a emotionless assassin to an Amazon warehouse worker and treated these officers like packages and made sure they were sent to the afterlife promptly, he had to make sure his skills were not slipping. I'm guessing he was not satisfied with how long it took him to handle them. I thought you was pretty proficient. But here comes Brandt with his drive-by glazing. Niggas waiting in the cut for the perfect moment. This is one of those good niggas I be hearing about. Like, it wasn't even cool for real. Maybe if he didn't have that stupid ass mask on. Hey, no disrespect if you fence or do kendo. Never mind, I see why he was wearing the mask. If he didn't have that mask on, the nose would have went flying like he was Mr. Potato Head. Man would have no features, just face. Dude would have been cosplaying Question. I guess this was a point where Brandt started to see red. Man took his mask off and flung it like this. Even if you beat my ass, you would still be down in points just for that toss alone. Now the actual spar for me wasn't much to talk about. This man took his mask off to talk about the murders of the officers, giving father's popsicle a little lick like it was a Tootsie Pop. Brandt has to make sure he's doing his daily licking. He is really trying to get to the center of that Tootsie Pop. I don't even know what the prize is. Nigga of the Year award? So after that spar, there is yet another raid. These niggas are trying to go 4 for 4 like they were Wendy's, back to back like the Kappa logo. There was no stopping them. It was like they wished someone would resist. Nigga, hum a tune. Are you stomping your feet with rhythm? They started riding motorcycles mid-op. You can't tell me they are not having fun. This is no longer for father and purely for the love of the game. And if I was John's partner, I would have been like, why did you have to smoke me before getting your emotions back? That's crazy. So instead of escaping, the rebels, no, fuck that at this point. The victims decided to dome John from behind. Like, what was their game plan? Kill one, then die? Because John took his gun from him, and look at dude behind him. This nigga is lost. He was not gonna be any help. The cameraman pans out, and they were looking more confused than the last one. You have your emotions back. At least scream. They look more emotionless than Brandt, who at least smiles. So John was being the man with emotions and was gonna let them escape, but they stood there, and one of them was like, don't leave, he'll shoot us in the back. Would you rather back shots or a facelift? Like, you mean? How is standing there stuck on maximum setting of stupid better than attempting to run? If you see death as the only option, at least fight a little harder. Fight back for me. Fight back. Kick your feet. John, still fresh with his newly attained emotions, understood. These niggas have Patrick Star tendencies and need to follow him like gooners do IG baddies. At this point, no offense, just take the anti-emotion serum and be good sheeps. Y'all not good rebels. John ended up leading the incompetent and wound up in a squabble against more officers. This man is truly not trying to hide the fact that he has emotions. John opened the door mad aggressively, and I don't blame him. He had to show these grown-ass niggas how to save themselves. And as soon as he stepped out, he was met with opposition, and it took him no time to ask the officer for a dance. Had him moving around like Vanessa in High School Musical 3, and his partner was still looking off in the distance. What's over there? A man reading a book? His partner was over there losing tug-of-war for his rifle, and this man over there window shopping. His partner's chest on fire from a clothesline, and his bright idea is to run over with his ranged weapon, and got exactly what he deserved for not utilizing his arms to shoot his ranged weapon. He act like it was a bayonet. Shoot the gun. More rushed in and was like,
Clarence, what's happening? We heard gunshots.
are we not in the middle of annihilating a bunch of people? How was the gunfire you heard here different from the gunfire you heard over there since we started? But I guess they left their common sense in the truck since they were in such a hurry to investigate this specific gunfire. Because when John told the victims to run, took out his guns, and started Fortnite emoting dead in the middle of them, they didn't know how to act. Still didn't comprehend until seconds before he started beating on them. This is why that father nigga shouldn't be burning books. Instead, he should be burning some audiobooks on CDs and handing them out. Stupid officers in the grand scheme of things cannot be helpful, especially when they can't help themselves. I think I now understand what Boozy was talking about. He dead ass could have shot them, but no. Where's the fun in that? He was beating on each and every one of them, not showing any favoritism. They all got the chance to feel the metal of his weapon, and I think their guns need some calibrations or something, because them guns were hitting nothing. I'm starting to think they're aerophobic. Forget stormtrooper aim. This display of assery far exceeds what I have seen from stormtroopers. At least they hit the wall like flight reacts on a losing streak. John did all of that just for them to end up being caught by Brandt. I knew Brandt was scheming. Man was in his Martyr bag, but instead of manipulating a 12-year-old boy, he had his sights set on future Batman. But these niggas were acting like bona fide NPCs, as if they couldn't leave the area they were coded in. They didn't know the way out their own building. Why in the hell was John leading them around their base? How did you get trapped when you know the layout? You know what? They had to be put down. Circle of life type shit. And John chose the worst niggas to try and save, because it only confirmed Brent's suspicion that he was a sense offender. So after fumbling a heroic attempt, we can't blame John. J. Cole said it best: can't save those destined to eat lead like they were imported candy. After that grand failure, John pulled up to the vice chancellor and asked him to lead the mission against the resistance to prove himself to a father. Come on, you can't cosplay Benedict Arnold 2 times in one movie. Man was switching sides more than an indecisive nigga ordering KFC. His grand mission that he proposed was locating the underground, the headquarters for the resistance once and for all. But if I was John's partner and he had the audacity to visit me after Baby Bird feeding me lead to the dome, but that's not it, then he had a scene like this with his girl, hell, Casper would be acting like he was working for Jerry Springer, because I'll be trying to claw my way from the pits to shoot my 30, and I'm talking about Glock. John was making his rounds to find the underground, visiting this man, chilling in his inner Batman.
You're an offender.
Not, no.
Cause he damn near sounded the same, just needed a stuffier nose. Used him as a battering ram to enter the secret room, and bam, he found the leader, who was just waiting behind the door for his arrival, looking like a cult leader himself. But my guy, if you knew he was coming, why didn't you tell the man that was setting flying through the books? Shit, you probably held the door open for him. No need for violence. So after a talk with the leader of the underground, he tells John to kill father. Then we get this scene. He said to off father like a can of bug spray. Now the trial for the NFL, they might not have their emotions, but they can still feel the skin of their ass burn off after high-fiving the pavement. He did all that only to be pulled up on deep and brought to the vice council, where he was confronted about whether or not he has emotions. And I would have raised my hand ever so slightly. That's a lot of passion in your words, sir. One could say it was emotional. Kill this nigga. But he was let off once more to locate the underground. He did locate it, but he was there plotting father's downfall like he was Tariq St. Patrick. But before any father slaying, John had to stop Mary from getting burned like it was the 1600s, and emotions were magic. But by the time he got there, the only thing he can do was watch like he paid top dollar for front row seats. And at this moment, like many other moments in this movie, ever since he stopped taking his anti-emotions, he was trying to get caught. Drop it down to his knees. Man was listening to a little too much Dirk and started massaging his forehead with the ground. I never seen this level of sad before, and I never want to be nuzzling the ground sad in my life. Brandt caught him, slept him, and brought him to the vice counselor. Like a good little boy, tail was wagging and he was proud of himself. Until John stood up with the meanest Uno reverse I think I saw and made it seem like Brandt was a traitor in the underground. But this was the biggest plot twist I saw in the movie. John's son had emotions the entire time. Stopped taking the drug ever since they cremated his mother, but he was playing the role a little too good. I in real life thought this little nigga was a leader of delightful children from down the lane. He helped his father hide his full vows from the order. Clap it up for the son, unlike that Brandt. Now it's time for John to meet the father. But yeah, scratch that off the list. This entire thing was a ploy by father, who's actually just a vice counselor. That wasn't a plot twist. The son having emotions was more of a shock to me. Even Brandt happy-go-lucky ass got the spit shine DuPont shoes another day. Until John had to lock in and enter Gunvatar state and slid two of them just off from his sleeve like he was a magician. But this man noticed the lock-in and had the key to success surrounding him and didn't call out the play for his players to follow. Nigga, you are the coach. Say something. Too late. It was an ASMR bullet mukbang, and don't worry, everyone was getting full like your voicemail when you owe a bill collector. Fire every one of these niggas now. I need you to lift their bodies up, pose them, so I can talk about their performance. John all but begged them to put him down. John tossed 2 magazines into the room like he was a paperboy. And why did they even stop and look down? If it was a bomb, you would have exploded already. You are not running anywhere wearing those Golf 13s. No, gather all their undivided attention. And see, it's because they can't read regular books or watch Scooby-Doo. The Mystery Gang would have taught them about such rudimentary distractions. Is it just me, or was John spinning in the air in the same spot? And they were still missing. That's it. Put their faces on the back of a milk carton. Enough is enough. Everybody in this world needs to know this. They have been missing for far too long. You have to be a special grade level of ass, Sakuna level special grade, for someone to start dancing on you like this, like they were listening to the cha-cha side. All the while you are staring them down armed with an assault rifle. Might as well be holding a boombox. The sound of their bullets missing and hitting the wall was damn near the beat of grinding. Had John thinking he was at a gathering more so than a life or death shootout. Ass. Just ass. John really danced to the middle and started laying them out. Man backflipped. He dead ass turned his back on the guards because he knew they had the aim of a blind nigga trying to take a piss standing up, and no look sent him to the afterlife. He wasn't even looking, and his hit to miss percentage was better than theirs. Rolled into the clips he tossed out earlier. I swear, these guards were doing more running with their assault rifles than using them bitches. How you already have your gun in your hands and die like this? You set the trap. John finally arrived at the final boss room, and the vice chancellor, aka a grown ass man who wants the world to call him father, saw this man treat his trained soldiers like a popsicle on a summer day and devour them, and he still thought it was time to be Kevin Hart. Nigga, now was not the time. Was it because these goons round the corner? Sorry, but why is he looking serious? And this one is second guessing his decision to even put on that gray uniform. Then they all died. Like, I don't know what to say. This one was fumbling with his sword like he didn't have the attack level to wield it. This nigga went for an overhead slash like an amateur and held his arms out like it was a photo op. Just trash. Not even their blood wanted smoke. It could have landed a blow on John staining his white, breaking his purity, but just vanished from the air like. Even the named character had his importance cut short, like a with no growth spurt. Like all that riding Brent was doing the entire movie, his legs were a little too tired to aid him in his final squabble. Cut that man into fine slices. Must be that nigga pie they were talking about in Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. Vice Chancellor got up and had to show us why he was referred to as father. John needed a spanking. Whoa. But they started having a battle of Mama gun edition. Mama, can't you see? I too fancy myself a master of gun fu, and I think I would look the same if I was to partake in a 9mm only Agni Kai. But in reality, I would probably be reliving Bobby Smurder lyrics. The gun love nobody, especially these niggas. With aim like that, I would hate to use the bathroom at their houses. Probably smell like a fish market on a summer day with no AC. John had to show father that there was levels to this, and he was under him. Disarmed him, leaving him begging hand in the air. Nah, all that tough talk and one man walk through your entire set. Now you're like this? Get him out of here, coach. Then after that, the resistance attacked. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This movie was a little hard for me to commentate on. The juices was running dry.